Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lukas. I'm a past under 15 and 17 Bundesliga soccer player. Instead of pursuing a career in this field, I rather decided to study medicine afterwards, and right now I'm a graduated medical doctor doing my first year of ophthalmology residency at the University Eye Hospital in Germany. The goal of this channel is to inspire you to pursue a career in medicine, because I believe it's a great choice and a great field, and I want to show you how to achieve that. Therefore, I show you how my life as a first year resident is like, and also how to be a more productive and successful medical student and also medical doctor. In today's video, I want to show you how to be successful in a job interview to get the dream job that you applied for. So first of all, I want to say that a job interview is a skill. There's something that you can learn. It's not like a talent that you're born with, and if you don't have that kind of talent, you're really unlucky for the rest of your life. No, definitely not. I've seen it myself. I've done a couple of job interviews. The more you practice, the better you get in that. So in today's video, I will show you what you should do before your first job interview, what kind of preparation, what kind of practice, and also what kind of mindset you need to have. After you've seen that and you have prepared all these things, I would then say you're ready to go doing your first job interview, because all the best simulation, all the best preparation is nothing compared to put you into the real kind of situation. The situation where there is like 3, 5, 7 doctors sitting in front of you, this kind of anxiety, nervous situation, uncertainty, what's going to happen. And that is the moment where you learn the most from. And that's why when you do your first interview, it's probably not the best one you're going to do. I will tell you that. You need a few of them to get really on the level that you want to be. But I also can guarantee you that if you've done a couple of them, then you really will improve quite fast. As always in life, it's about the process, not about the result. So enjoy the journey, and probably you won't be successful in your first interviews. Maybe you won't be successful in the first 5, 6, 7 ones. Don't get frustrated. If you're really succeeding in 1 out of 10, I would say you've done a good job, yeah? So don't be too hard on yourself as well. For preparation, first of all, you should prepare a CV. The CV should contain all the details about your education, where you've studied, about further research projects you've done, and maybe also if you've already worked somewhere, what kind of job experience you have, personal interest, and also language skills I would put in there. You should list everything down in a Word document so it looks really accurate and nice, signed, and then you should also know the 3 biggest highlights of your CV. That's very important that you know them by heart to talk about them during the interview. Secondly, you should also prepare answers to very commonly asked questions. One very typical question would be, why are you a good candidate for this role? Or in a bit different way, but kind of into the same direction, why do you want to become an ophthalmologist? To answer this question, I would firstly talk about the kind of internships that you've already done, like you were at this place and this one and that one, and during this time you've realized that this is a really cool field and you like it for this and this reason. And then you should mention the parts that you really like about the field, that shows them that you really have knowledge about the field already. Things like, maybe you like that it's a small field, maybe you like that it has surgical and medical components, and the surgical components are cool because they usually short surgeries and they have a really profound impact on the patient's life. Like after the surgery, patients see quickly really much better, and they're very grateful for that. You could also mention that it's a very high-tech field, uses things like laser, artificial intelligence, and also Digital imaging is a standard. You could also talk about things like sight is a very important thing for people. There are studies that show after cancer, blindness is really the second biggest fear for patients. So you're really doing meaningful things, and the field also offers you a lot of research opportunities. After that, I would also talk about clinical skills that you've already learned, things like fundoscopy, gonioscopy, things like that. Then I would talk about research. If you've done some research in this field, that would be really good. And later on, you can also talk about your goals for the future already. Maybe you know that you want to become a specialist for glaucoma treatments. Other very typical questions that I already got asked in interviews are things like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why you want to work in this specific city or at this specific clinic. Often at the end of an interview, also the audience asks you if you have any question. That is also something, not so easy to answer. What I think is you could definitely do is just say like, oh, thank you very much for the interview. I really appreciate it. And I already had the chance to talk about everything that was important for me, and I don't have any further question. That's absolutely fine. Yeah? Another thing what you could do is like ask for when the decision is made, until what time. And then you could send another email to the audience saying that you really appreciate the chance having the interview, and you would really be thankful having the chance to work in that clinic. That will, let the audience know again that you exist, kind of. That's also very good. You could also ask for some kind of feedback. What is very important, really don't ask any stupid question. That's very important. Like, don't ask anything that you could find out yourself by doing some research. What I really find out as a little tip in an interview, you really don't need to look like the biggest superstar, the number one excellent person. What you really need to do is avoid really stupid negative things. That's all you need to do, basically. Another kind of question you could be asked is a behavioral question. So give us an example where you showed really good communication skills at work, or tell us about the work conflict and how you solved that. And to answer these kind of questions, you should use the so-called CAR technique. This stands for context, action, and result. So whenever you need to answer that kind of question, you first give some kind of context. That means like, oh, you remember that one kind of situation when you were doing your internship at this and that clinic in this and that field. There was a patient who only spoke some kind of language, and you were the only person at the moment who really could communicate with the patient. So then you took the chance to talk to the person, ask about the problems. That is then the action. What did you do? You figure out what is the problem for the patient, and you kind of find a solution for that. You write the medical report in this kind of language, and the patient goes home, and everybody is satisfied with that kind of patient. The result then would be that your attending or supervisor would be really thankful, tell you that you did a good job, something like that. Thirdly, for preparation, I would also recommend to take your CV printed and also some notes for the interview. I think that is a very good thing to do because it helps you, if you're really nervous, to remember things that you maybe wanted to ask to the audience, or to remember things on your CV that you maybe forgot when you were a bit scared. So it's some kind of like a safety net as well. And usually the audience does not really have a problem with that. You could ask them if that is okay at the beginning. The next part would be the practice part. So you should really talk out loud all the answers that you've prepared for the commonly asked questions that we talked about before. That is very important because it helps you to have some kind of routine to answer to these questions quickly and in a professional way, I would say. For this topic, in my opinion, it would be very good and helpful to record yourself, to look on the video how you look like when you answer question. It's very important. It shows you, for example, if you're really able to answer question in a proper way, that it sounds good. You should just talk as much as necessary, as I mentioned before. And it also helps you to look at your body language. This is another very important part. You need to have your body upwards, you need to use your arms and put your head up, and to look really not stiff or to look like in a weird way. It's very helpful to change things. Like sometimes you don't even realize, but you hold your hand really in a weird way. You make a really different and good impression if you use the right kind of body language. Another very important thing about an interview is smiling. This is really important thing. So I would really recommend you, when the interview starts, the first thing you do is give like a nice smile to the people. Also do it at the end of the interview, but besides that, usually an interview is a really serious thing. So you should not be smiling all the time. That really makes you look ridiculous. If there's something really happy, exciting that you're talking about, something you've done in an internship, it's okay to smile shortly again. But don't do it too much, but really definitely it's most important, do it as the first thing. This shows the audience that you're really an enthusiastic, happy, outgoing and confident person. The next thing I want to talk about is the mindset. The mindset is a very important thing for a job interview, but also for other things in life. Like I said before, it's all about the journey and not about the result. That's also how you should take it as for an job interview. You can be doing the best job interview in the world. You are the best candidate for that job, but still they don't want to choose you because they find somebody else better for the position or has nothing to do with you. You could really do a not so good job and you're maybe not the best candidate for a job, but the audience really likes you for some kind of reason and they really want to give you that kind of opportunity. So with that kind of mindset, you're really much more relaxed. You know that not everything is in your hand, you've done your best, and if this is the right thing, what should happen to you, it will happen, and if not, it's okay. There's also some other opportunities waiting for you down the line, maybe even better ones. This really helps to make you much more relaxed and enjoy that kind of stressful moments as well, and realize that it's not that of a big deal at the end anyway. Some final tips I want to give you. First of all, you should really dress properly. So you should wear something like a shirt and a suit, but it does not have to be something super fancy. It can be something and should be something that you also feel like relaxed and comfortable with. So that is very important. Secondly, you should never be too late for an interview. As soon as you're too late, the job interview is already over. Like, you have no chance, it's done. Even if you're the best guy in the world for that, I'm sorry, but that's just how it works. And besides that, I would not be too early as well. Like 5 or 10 minutes before the interview is absolutely fine, because if you're there too early, like 20-30 minutes, you just stress yourself way too much, you start thinking too much and you get really nervous and anxious. And that should not be the case. And finally, I really think take advantage of the chance to do an online interview. It's really such a game changer. First of all, I thought like, oh God, that is really scary and like really difficult, but it's so much better. You cannot believe it. It saves so much time and so much money. Like, I remember I've done a job interview for a future research project in the United States, and I just turn on my computer, talk with these guys for like 30-60 minutes, and after that I'm still at my place, at my home, and I can just go out jogging and enjoy the evening and save so much money and time. And it's like really amazing. Yeah, so you should really take use of that opportunities.